I'm an apple, and I'm in love with Five-A-Side Podcast. Welcome to episode 83 of the Five-A-Side Podcast. What the hell?
What the hell are you on?
What the podcast? You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Episode 83. No. That's how we started.
Oh, no. What the hell are you
Who
on?
am I joined by today?
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Seb is here.
What's good, y'all? Gabriel. Josh couldn't make it this one, but he'll be back.
Kendrick here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of drama going on in the footballing world. We got Champions League. We got Europa League. We even got Conference League. Kendrick's guys might be pulling it through. Y'all play Djurgården next. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into all of that. Some very funny reaction videos as well. Bodo Glimt went through. We're going to get into all that, bro. It's been a very, very exciting time in Europe. Stuff in the women's game, too. The title races are getting nuts. La Liga's crazy. Serie A is crazy. But I want to start with our question of the week. Speaking of the Champions League, some people feel that the away goals rule should come back. So my question to you guys is, what is one rule that no longer exists in football that you'd bring back? Maybe it's the away goals rule, silver goal, golden goal, MLS-style penalty shootouts. Those were absolutely crazy, where they were driving from like the 30 yards out. Maybe get rid of VAR. What is a rule that used to exist that you would bring back?
This is a very good question that I wish I'd prepared better for.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun, bro.
What's your rule, sir?
I low-key like silver goal. I ain't mad at silver goal. So the concept of silver goal is you play the first overtime, and then if a team is winning by the end of it, you don't play a second half of overtime. Kind of like in the NBA, when you go to overtime, if someone's winning after the first period, you don't do a second overtime. I think that kind of logically makes sense instead of playing the full 30 minutes.
Heartbreaking, though.
Yeah, well, golden goal is worse. I think golden goal is a little too crazy. That just one moment.
Golden goal is lit. Though.
But it's lit, though. No, the game's over. There's no halfway line. There's nothing. It's actually, you celebrate. It's over.
You can't hold back. Like, you have to go into overtime. Like, we actually have to score.
You know what it is?
There's no other option.
It's a higher risk, high reward.
Yeah,
if your team gets it, it's the craziest shit ever. But the L is like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
I like silver goal. It's right in the middle. I like silver goal.
I think I'll bring back golden goal. And golden goal in like regular competitions. So like Champions League.
Yeah.
Like at any playoff, like if it goes to extra time, you just have to score first, bro. Because it brings back that intensity where it's like you can't really park the bus. And you have to go out and score.
Yeah. Another one too is actually get rid of overtime, straight to penalties.
I hate that.
I don't like that. I don't like that either.
Any competition that goes straight to penalties is whack to me.
I'm not a fan either. Yeah, I think silver goal could be cool. I'm not mad at what we have now, but if I could bring something back, I think it could be an interesting experience. What about you, Sub? I never liked away goals personally. Whether it benefited my team or not, it's just a weird concept to me. Some classic games, though, with away goals, though.
I have a funny one.
All right.
Did you know that the concept of substitutions is actually a pretty recent development in soccer?
You're going to get rid of substitutions.
I would get rid of substitutions.
Bro, these players, like, their limbs are damn near falling off. You're just going to get rid of subs?
I agree. But what that means is that players who, like, yes, that means
you have to be match fit.
No, it's not that. It means that more players will get to start games that they normally wouldn't. You're thinking about it from, like, nobody would ever get taken off. It would just mean that starters would be rotated much more, which I like.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm definitely mad at that. You can't make any in-game adjustments as a coach either.
That used to be how it was played, man.
I don't think that just because that's how it used to play, that's how it should be, though. They also used to smoke cigarettes on the sidelines.
Bring that back as well. bring that back for sure. Ancelotti, you know, I don't know if Ancelotti was
definitely. We needed some cigs recently after these performances. Oh, man. And speaking of that, let's get into the Champions League. So we are on to the semifinals. Very, very exciting moments. This is the business end of the season.
Yes,
let's go around and give some predictions for these matchups, and I think we can also just like predict who we have as a winner. Yeah. So first up, we have Arsenal versus PSG. The second leg will be in Paris, and then Barca versus Inter. Second leg in Milan. So how do we think these matchups are gonna go? Who do we got going to the final, and who do we have winning the Champions League?
Damn it!
What? As a Milan fan,
they're gonna win, bro.
Inter?
Yes, bro.
Talk about it. As an AC Milan fan,
no.
I know.
I don't think so. Oof. Why are you so confident?
Honestly,
wait.
They low key should.
Let's go matchup by matchup.
Okay. Let's start.
Arsenal,
okay.
I'll start.
Arsenal PSG, let's go.
Arsenal PSG.
Second leg Paris.
I got PSG.
I do too.
I think Arsenal is maybe like the more informed team, obviously coming off a big win against Real Madrid.
You think they're a more informed team?
Bro, defeating Real Madrid was a lot, bro.
I'm a Real Madrid fan, and we did not show up, to be fair.
Sure, but like it's also
the psychological weight.
No, the psychology is good, but the league season, I don't know. They've had a weird year.
Arsenal?
Yeah, they've had a weird year. Poor in the other competitions.
I think it's because they lost Saka, low key.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like I think they're the stronger team, like on
paper.
How I say it, like they're full 11. I think they're the stronger.
Really? I do not think so. Other than Saka and Saliba, that PSG 11 is really strong.
Let's do it. Let me find it right now.
Donnarumma is better than Raya, and I'm saying that as a Spanish person who roots for the Spanish national team.
Hold on, let's do it. I'll ask you guys right now.
Okay, yeah. Combined 11.
Yeah, combined 11. PSG starting 11, Champions League.
That's going to get the Arsenal fans tight. They're going to be sick. Combined 11.
Yeah, PSG versus Arsenal, combined 11. Donnarumma versus Raya.
Donnarumma.
Mendes versus Lewis Skelly.
Mendes. Or Minch. Yeah.
Is that right?
Lewis Skelly's on the left.
Yeah.
Shout out Lewis Skelly, though. I'm a fan, bro. The way he's born at 18, he's going to be incredible. But I think right now, Mendes has been incredible. Like, what he did against Salah, come on, man.
Saliba, Pacho.
Saliba.
Marquinhos, Gabriel.
He's hurt. It's actually Kiwior, but I'll go with Marquinhos regardless.
Yeah, Marquinhos.
Yeah.
Hakimi.
Hakimi.
Or Timber, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
Hakimi. And shout out Timber. And that Arsenal defense has been very solid. And I will say this, regardless of names, the way they defend as a unit has been exceptional. The way they defend as a unit, like the sum is larger than the individual pieces. I will give them that credit. Shout out Arteta as a coach. But individual, that's what I was getting at, the point of combined 11. I think PSG definitely has the better individual talent right now in form.
Vitinha, Partey.
Vitinha for sure. He's been world class.
Ruiz, Odegaard.
Spanish bias says Ruiz, but I'll give it to Martin.
Neves, Declan Rice.
Neves has been great, but those free kicks alone, I got to give it to Mr. Rice.
Nwaneri, well, I guess it's Saka. Saka, Barcola.
I wouldn't even put Barcola, to be honest.
It has to be Saka.
Wait, but I think the front three is really Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, probably pronounced that wrong, and Doué. Barcola low-key not starting like that.
Been coming off the bench.
Barcola started.
At times.
Barcola started both games.
He did,
They've been interchangeable.
but that's because they had the lead, though, I think.
They've been interchangeable.
Because I'll take Doué. What I'm saying is in the front three, if you do the two front threes, I'm taking two PSG players, regardless, and Saka.
Okay.
Feel me?
I understand.
Yeah.
But
I would probably take Dembele over Saka right now.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
All right. Doué or Saka?
I'll take Saka. That's fair.
Dembele or Marino?
Dembele for sure.
Kvaratskhelia or Martinelli?
Kvara for sure.
Yeah.
PSG might.
I think they have the 11.
PSG
And the way they've been playing, too, that midfield has been super balanced.
Yeah.
The lethalness of their counter. Now, I do remember as Villa was coming back, but actually before they were coming back, that first half, they started playing with their foot a little bit, PSG. Trying to pass it out the back, getting a little tricky with Vitinha especially. They need to fix that up because Arsenal can pounce on it. But I think PSG has like literally the better players and are more in form. I think they should do it. But I think it'll be close. I'll give them a 1-goal advantage over two legs.
I mean, if Arsenal wins this matchup, I might actually go into a deep depression.
Yeah. As a Chelsea fan? That's kind of fucked up.
Arsenal fans have been hella annoying since the Real Madrid win, and I kind of need them to like calm it down a little bit.
How many UCLs does Chelsea have?
2.
And how much does Arsenal have?
0.
Oh,
Just to be clear.
But I think PSG has a stronger team. I think they have the stronger attack, but I do think Arsenal has stronger defense. Like again, not pound for pound,
as a unit,
a unit they've looked stronger to me together.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's gonna be hella close, but I think PSG just has a little bit too much firepower for them.
Yeah.
Hakimi coming off the wing has
that
been
front three is better.
Hakimi coming down the wing has been cooking.
And now he's coming into the middle too. That goal he scored.
Yeah, Arsenal might be cooked.
Nuno scored again. I think he's got 3 or 4 goals now.
The fact that Arsenal beat Real Madrid is the only thing that's keeping me like doubtful.
Yeah. I think PSG are shaky off set pieces.
Defensively, that's fair. Konsa on Villa really could have scored that goal to tie it too.
Facts.
He really could have scored that.
They completely crumbled.
They did.
They just got a little bit of fortune.
They did.
So I don't know, but I'm taking PSG. I'm
Yeah.
praying for PSG, and just what it would mean for PSG to.
Yeah. And the irony of it being after Mbappe, Messi, Neymar,
Yeah.
I think that would,
I mean, Mbappe was the cancer, unfortunately.
cap. But,
All right, I'll take PSG as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with a 1-goal PSG victory over 2 legs. What do you think? Close?
Oy, I don't know. So second leg is in Paris.
Yeah.
I think it'll always be close with PSG.
Yeah.
They don't know how to clean up, so I think it'll be a PSG close win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Same thing.
PSG.
All right. Barca versus Inter Milan. We'll start with the AC Milan fan over here.
Yeah. As an AC Milan fan, I think, unfortunately, as an AC Milan fan, I think Inter will probably win this Champions League. There's such little pressure on them. They're literally in the run for a treble, bro. And
Little pressure.
No, the media just doesn't. It's because they're playing Serie A. No one's like
the
really
media
paying
hasn't
attention.
spoken about them at all.
People have them ranked 4th in the UCL, and I think they're probably the best team.
They are, like I said, maybe 2-3 episodes ago, they play the most unique brand of football right now. The way they can take it out the back is unbelievable. The way they can defend is unbelievable.
5-3-2.
Lautaro and Thuram is a perfect connection. Barella is probably one of the best midfielders in the world right now.
I like, what's his name, the blonde dude coming out the back.
DeMarco?
Yeah.
DeMarco.
Baller.
DeMarco's
Dog,
baller.
too. He's a
He's
dog,
a
man.
classic
He doesn't get
Italian
enough-
soccer player.
He
doesn't
really
get
is.
enough
Baller.
shine.
He's a
Vintage
dog, man.
Italian soccer
Don't
player.
freeze too? Come on.
Dumfries, Arnautovic off the bench. I mean, yeah, they really have a squad. They have a squad. Yeah, and I think they are probably the most experienced team left in the Champions League right now.
Oh, for sure. By age?
At the end of the day, they have also been to a Champions League final, not last year, but 2 years ago. And
Yep.
It's relatively the same team. Inzaghi's probably the most experienced coach in terms of the team that he's managing currently,
Mm-hmm.
because Flick is new. What's his name? PSG's
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique isn't new, but his team is young,
Yep.
very, very young, and very new.
It's not the Barca team
Like-
he used to coach.
Like
yeah.
this is a new team that Enrique is coaching. And then if we're looking at Arteta, yes, it is a very, very Arteta team that he has built and put together.
But
This is the first time they've gotten to this place.
Yep.
So if you kind of do the math on all these different teams, Inzaghi has the best setup to take this team the furthest. And I don't think Barcelona is equipped to deal with an Italian team that's about to play the way Inter's about to play.
Yeah.
Especially second leg San Siro.
Bro, the problem with Barca is the high line.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit fraudulent. It's worked. And so watch this. When they play teams that are inferior to them,
Yeah.
they just absolutely overwhelm you. No chance. Which is why they can blow out so many teams in La Liga 4-0.
Yep.
But when you play against a team that knows how to slice through it, their defense can look very shaky. Guirassy hat-trick for Dortmund. Borja Iglesias hat-trick for Celta. Back-to-back games conceding 3 goals to strikers because the high line to me is just not holding up. To go against an Inter team that's going to be able to defend better than all these other teams and know how to exploit it probably better than anyone else as well. And these guys are not going to be nervous. They're going to know how to time those runs when they press high.
Yeah.
I could really see them getting in behind Barca, or Barca's going to have to know to adapt. We can't play such a high line. Because I'll be watching them in La Liga. They might get those 4, but the way they concede the 3,
Yeah,
it is a simple ball over the top, bro.
Yeah.
Even when they killed Real Madrid, if Mbappe had decided, let me learn how to just not be offsides, it could have been disgusting in the first half.
Yeah.
So game after game, I'm like, how are they getting away with this?
I think talent
I
for
don't know.
talent.
It's actually crazy.
Barca is the more talented team, just like individually.
Front 3, I would say, but midfield, Inter's midfield is much more experienced.
It's much more experienced. I think it's less gifted, footballing wise.
Yeah.
But
With
at the end of
Pedri,
the
yeah,
day,
yeah.
as a unit, bro, Inter's gonna cook them. Those
Oh, you think
children.
Cook? Ooh, I don't know about that.
Not on paper in terms of scoreline,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
going to feel like Barcelona was not visible on the field.
Okay.
Bro, y'all haven't watched the terrorism that Inter has wrecked on the Serie A this year, bro.
No. Listen,
It's-
I've
It's like Jesus Christ every single game.
yeah. They did just lose a crazy one though.
They
Bologna.
did.
So
It's true.
they're in both teams are in dogfights for their
titles.
league title as
Yeah.
well. Barca actually played tomorrow against Mallorca, which is not an easy game. Mallorca's had a great season, so he has a lot to play for. I'm gonna go with Inter as well, but narrowly. I
Agreed.
think one goal
On paper,
advantage,
narrowly, yes.
maybe overtime,
Yes.
maybe penalties, but I just think the experience that they have from 2 seasons ago, making it to the final with their coach, with that squad, how well they've been in Serie A as well the last few years, I think they're probably going to be champions, honestly. That's why I have winning it. So I'm going to go Inter. And I think they're going to expose the high line. I think they will. Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, I think Inter is probably the better team on paper. I think Barcelona got it though. I think they've just been putting it to everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they've been outscoring everybody. They have like 80 goals in La Liga this season.
Yep.
In the Champions League, in their last couple of matchups, they dropped 5 on Dortmund, although they conceded. They dropped 2 on Atalanta. They dropped 5 on Benfica.
Yeah.
They dropped 3 on Dortmund in the group stage. They dropped 3 on Brest. They dropped 4 on Bayern. They dropped 5 on Young Boys. And, like, not all these teams are that crazy.
They dropped 4 on Madrid twice. I'll
But,
say it
like,
as Madrid.
yeah,
fan,
like, they've been outscoring their opponents. And like you said, they concede goals, but they just score more.
Yeah.
So I think if they come into this matchup with that mindset of like, Rafinha, Lamine, Lewa, just put it in the back of the net as many times as you can, they can sneak it over at Inter, even if they concede.
All it takes from Lamine is that one slick pass through 2 lines.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Inter's only conceded 3 goals.
That's the thing, though. It's the best defense. Who are their center backs again?
So it's Bastoni, it's Bisek, it's DiMarco, and then it's Dumfries, and then kind of a Cherby.
Yeah.
We'll slide in.
Yeah. Those are the type of people that can handle Lewandowski in the air, which I think is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And putting 5 at the back, they're just going to be so solid. That's going to make it harder for Barca.
I don't think Barca has played against a 5 at the back like this. This is a very unique setup.
They play against low
5 at the
blocks
back?
in La Liga, but not from an experienced Scudetto winning type team, obviously. So they play against the teams that like to make it narrow like that, but not against a team this good. No way. They haven't yet.
I'm personally
It'll be fun.
It will be fun.
Not betting against Ballon d'Or Rafinha,
facts.
legendary Lewa, and the young boy Lamine, who have figured it out time after time. So
I agree.
That's just me.
I agree. It'll be fun.
I'll say this
we'll
too.
see.
if it gets back and forth and Inter lose their control, Barca's gonna win.
Of course.
If it gets tight, Inter got it.
Yeah.
If Barca get frustrated and Lewandowski's not finding space in the middle, if they hug up on Lamine and Rafinha every time they get the ball, because when Barca have space, good night to everyone in the world. If they don't have space, you have a chance. It's gonna be great though.
Yeah.
2 really
So
good
much
games.
fun. Yeah.
So who y'all got winning it then, based on who you're picking?
The whole thing.
Yeah.
For me, Inter, unfortunately.
So you got Inter beating PSG in the final.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha.
That's light work at that point.
I don't know about light work. I got Inter beating PSG in the final as well. You have a PSG Barca final.
I have a PSG Barca final. I think,
Which is what the streets want.
yeah, that would be freaking amazing
For views and like back and forth and dribblers and shit. Yeah.
That's like the TikTok final.
Literally the TikTok final.
That's
The
TikTok
edits.
final.
That's what the streets want.
That's what the streets want. I would put my money on Barca, but I want PSG to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the team that I feel like, not that they deserve
Where's
it, but
the
it would
final?
be cool to see them win.
Munich, actually. Poor Bayern. Yeah.
Speaking of the final, the performer for
Oh my
the
God,
final
Linkin Park,
is
bro.
Linkin Park.
That's some old Super Bowl vibes before Jay-Z got there.
I
Like,
wanted
what are
to
we
ask
doing?
y'all, like, 1, how y'all felt about that, and 2, who would you replace? Like, who would you,
I don't know who Linkin Park is.
reasonably, who would you think else could
Linkin
do it?
Park,
I
from
don't
my
know.
understanding,
I don't know who Linkin Park is.
is
it halftime or is it like the opening?
might be opening instead of half. No, I think it is halftime this time. I think it's halftime this
Do they
time.
do the
No,
halftime?
yes, because I
What's
think
like a
that's what
Linkin-
made it new was that it's halftime instead of opening.
What's a
'Cause-
Linkin Park song?
So we're the wrong crowd to ask. We know, but I know they're legends. They have an album with Jay-Z. Their streaming numbers are probably crazy.
Let me see.
They're like a rock group. T, can you help us over here?
Yeah, they got some. They definitely.
No,
have
they're
some
like
bangers.
Linkin Park's huge.
Sure.
I think actually they're like the type of white group that black people like in America as well. That's been shut down.
Yeah, these seem like that seems like the type of shit that gets your YouTube taken away from
Definitely,
you.
absolutely. Without even, you cannot appeal.
Yeah. He's just,
My fault.
you could never,
But no,
you could never
so,
watch
like-
a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Shit.
They're legends. It is global music. We're obviously biased towards like, I mean, we had Burna Boy 2 years ago, so we're like, I understand the pick. I get it.
I mean, if we're gonna go white boys, why couldn't it have been Coldplay? I like Coldplay.
That's a good.
I like
a white
Coldplay.
boy pick. Jack Harlow.
Oh no.
No, yo, dang, I lost you on that.
No.
I should have go Jack.
I like Coldplay. I think Coldplay.
You don't want to hear what's that song? Fuck, the airplane one. First Class. You want to hear First Class when it's like 3-3 at halftime? No, I don't want.
I like Coldplay.
First Class. Okay.
Who's like another? I mean, they could have got it like a Latino artist. I mean, Latin.
I mean, if it's
Bad
gonna be,
Bunny.
if it's gonna be in
Oh,
Munich,
could've
Bad,
got
Bad
Latin
Bunny,
artist.
Anita
Yeah.
type vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
could've
but
got
in
a-
Munich, you know.
That's not even. I don't
Yeah,
think
what,
the city
bro?
matters.
It's a
It's just the fact it's the
horrible
Champions
take.
League. Yeah.
Horrible.
Munich's also
Munich,
mad culture.
It's beauty.
Is it?
That's their New York, bro. I was there. Definitely.
I'm about to find out.
Yo,
That's
shout
the-
out to fans in Germany.
Right.
Crying. All right. So you're betting on Barca, rooting for PSG in the final that you think will happen.
Yeah.
Got you. Moving on to the Europa League, which has been super exciting.
super
Do not
fun.
sleep on Thursday night football, y'all.
Weesh.
Thursday night football has been lit. I mean, before we even get into it, that Manchester United game.
Bro,
Someone said it was the best soccer game they'd ever seen.
no, I swear to God, that was the best game of soccer I've seen since the World Cup final, France and Argentina.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah.
Wow.
Like
It was insane, bro. I was watching it in the office, and my boss is a United fan. So, like, I was talking mad shit. I was like, yo, finally I get to watch with you.
Yeah.
Your team gets smacked. Bro, United scores, like, 3 goals in the last 5 minutes of extra time.
they were down 2 in overtime.
The game
like
was
10
over.
It was
Turkey,
over.
Turkey was cooking them, bro.
Yeah.
The Algerian,
Yeah. He's
I don't
on
even
France.
I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
know what happened, bro. I don't even know
How?
what happened.
Bro, that was Fergie time. Like the old
Yeah.
school. We got the United jersey right there. Like
Bro,
that old school
Harry
vibe.
Maguire was dropping dimes from
Bro.
midfield. Like he's freaking prime Luka Modric. I was like, what is happening?
They just turned on the aura. They still. I mean,
The aura was crazy. The
listen.
aura was
That means
crazy.
they still got. It's somewhere in
It's
there.
somewhere.
United still have it. That's what it means, bro.
Yeah.
You saw the picture of Amarim after the win. You saw how high that boy jumped off the ground. That is the first moment he's had like that since signing in the fall.
That shit, that was like,
Crazy.
it was on something like, yo, this is why I love this sport.
Bro, and Onana, the shit talking with Matic, like the
Yeah.
whole build-up storyline, and for him
Yeah.
to concede what, like 6 goals in the 2
And-
games,
and
but still go.
win. Yo,
Shit is WWE
it's
wrestling,
crazy,
bro.
I
Nuts.
felt bad for Lyon, but they crumbled.
Yeah,
And the goals that they conceded at the end were like preventable. Like,
Yeah.
like
Clear it
Yeah,
out.
mistimed the clearance.
absolutely insane, dude.
The United
Absolutely
just
insane.
wanted it. Like the atmosphere at Old
Crazy.
Trafford was just like,
Bro, and then Bodo Glimt beat Lazio?
yeah, Bodo
Yeah.
Glimt.
Give me the Serie A perspective on that, because that's a choke job.
I can give you the Bodo Glimt perspective.
That
which
too.
Is,
We
which
just-
is
The first Norwegian team to ever qualify for a European semifinal, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Insane.
We were
So-
talking hella shit about Bodo Glimt.
Well, we didn't know. We,
were
just didn't know what the
like-
name was.
We were like, who's that?
no, that's Boniface's team.
Oh,
former
nice.
team.
That's where he started. So they're a small Norwegian town, essentially as far north as you can go to find a soccer team is where Bodo Glimt is. They're a Norwegian town that represents 55,000 people inside the Arctic Circle, bro. So like, you know, on a map on a globe, there's like a circle at the top of globes.
Just North Pole.
That's where they are. That's where the town of Bodo is in Norway.
Niggas got Santa on their team.
They have won 4 out of the last 5 Norwegian league titles.
Oh, so they're nice.
They're
of
nice.
course.
They're the
Yeah.
best team in Norway by far. When teams go up there,
Far.
like games can go to minus 10 degrees, so that means like 14 degrees Fahrenheit. But
It's that math.
That was
so
pretty good.
Glimt means oh, interesting. Glimt means flash in Norwegian.
And was Bodo?
Bodo is the name of the town. So like
That's tough.
The
so
Bodo
they're like
Flash.
the Flash basically. And they wear yellow. It's an old team, 108 years old.
Okay.
Listen, man. So who are they playing? They're playing Spurs, right?
They're playing Spurs, second leg in Norway.
My favorite story coming out of this matchup
Second leg in Norway.
was that the keeper for Bodo Glimt, Hakeem, he after the match he made an Instagram post celebrating it. He said, "An unforgettable night in Rome. We made Norway proud. Thank you so much for your support. On to the semifinal. Let's go." And he posted a carousel of like pictures from the match.
Yeah.
Fuck me. He posted a carousel of pictures
Yeah.
from the match and then a picture of him as a kid in a Roma kit.
Oh, that's
Hey,
fire. After having beat Lazio.
that's
That's super fire.
I was
That's
like, that's
fire,
kind of
that's
tough.
That's really tough. That's
Super
really
fire.
tough.
That was kind of
That's
cool.
Bro, for them to pull that off in the Stadio Olimpico is so crazy. After they had kind of folded to allow it to get to where it was. Like Lazio, you really had your chance at that point, and that's crazy.
Yeah,
What a
the
game.
PK that they missed.
Actually, the shootout was bad on
they
both
had some
teams. The
bad
shootout was bad,
penalties.
bro. Skied, super soft. Like, it was not good. Nonetheless, for the Europa League, we have Athletic Club de Bilbao versus Man United, second leg in Manchester. And then Tottenham versus Bodo Glimt, second leg in Norway, in Bodo. So who do you have going through, and who do you have winning it all?
That's super fun.
It is fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we can start with Athletic Club, but
It's football
yeah.
fun. I think second leg in Manchester.
Yep.
Eesh.
I know.
Second leg of Manchester. Can
The
make
aura
it
might
fun
be
again.
back,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Aura might be.
but
back.
they're also still such a tragic team. They've lost 15
They're
Prem
currently
games this
in
season.
15th place in the
They
Prem.
lost
Yeah,
to-
they're officially not going to get relegated
They
though,
lost
so
to
let's clap it for Man
Wolves.
United for that.
They lost to Wolves this weekend.
Yeah.
And
I
they
saw a
saved
stat-
Wolves basically.
I
They
saw a
did.
stat that said that when Emerim joined, Wolves was 18 points behind Manchester United. They're now level on points.
Yeah, I saw
Probably.
a stat that said in December, if Liverpool didn't get any more points than they had at the end of December,
Yeah.
they would still have more points than Manchester United has right now. Like if they lost every game since December.
I saw a stat that said that on average, Emerim watches his team from at least 100 meters away during training.
What
Yo,
is that
Opta, where y'all get that one from? Like,
I don't know if that's real.
bro, how is
But
he
there was a video to support it. There was video evidence to support it. There was a video of him.
Bro,
Y'all
who's
not seen this
measuring
video?
Amram's distance?
There was a
from
video of him, and we'll put it
the-
on.
Seb,
the
how does
screen.
he talk to the players from 100 meters
But that's
away?
the thing, bro. He doesn't seem to be speaking to them at all. Let me find it. Let me find it.
Yo, Kobe, get out of there, bro.
He's probably over them.
Yeah. Nah, they'll be all right, man. Next season is his first full
What's your
full year.
prediction?
Okay, no, hold
Well,
on.
that's
Watch
right,
this
yeah.
video. Watch this video. So these are the Manchester United players. I don't know if y'all can see this.
Yeah. Where's Amarim, bro?
He's in the other field, bro.
Bro, but they're probably warming
Yes,
up.
bro.
It's bait. That's
Yeah,
bait.
that's
It's
bait.
definitely
That's
bait. There's no way.
But there's several videos like this.
But that could be they're just doing it every time that they're like warming up over here, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way he's just. What, he got a megaphone? Shout out United.
Zoom is so funny, bro.
What are y'all predictions though?
Athletic Club upset.
I don't think that would
Athletic-
be an upset.
Is it even an upset?
I don't think that would be an upset.
Yeah, it would be. For
Well-
Europa League, it would be. Second leg, Manchester. I think it would be.
Them boys aren't
And
15th
Athletic
place.
Club, this is all they're focused on. They low key were
Same
resting.
with United.
No, I'm saying I'm giving like Athletic Club credit. They fourth spot is secured. They're like 9 points clear. They were low key resting guys against Real Madrid. They're kind of like no, seriously. They're like Europa League or bust. What this means for their history compared to United, I think Athletic Club's gonna do it. I think it'll be close, but I think they'll get it done.
Yeah. I think they're the better team.
Of course, on paper they're
They're
by
the
far
better
the
team.
Yeah, I mean they're fourth in La Liga. So.
It would literally just have to be the Old Trafford or let's say
Yeah.
United.
Yeah.
And then I think Tottenham will probably beat Bodo Glimt sadly.
Bro,
But I'm
second
rooting
leg
for
in Norway, bro?
I'm rooting for Bodo Glimt.
Tottenham might fuck around and win the Europa
I
League, bro.
got Bilbao winning the whole thing. I got Bilbao winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team remaining. I got them.
Yeah.
For me, I think Tottenham loses to Glimt. To Bodo
Really?
Glimt.
I don't think so.
Nah, no way.
No way.
Bro, it's the history of Tottenham, bro.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, history would be them getting to the final and losing, which is what I'm predicting.
History is just them being shit
Yeah.
in general.
It's
Just
gonna be
weird.
real spooky, real cold up there.
All right.
Arctic hours up in Bodo Glimt.
So you picked Bilbao as well, right?
Yeah. I have,
So final, you have Athletic Club versus Bodo Glimt. Who's winning?
Athletic Club.
Okay. I got Athletic Club versus Tottenham in the final. I'm gonna go with Athletic Club as well.
Nice.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. On
I
to
got Glimt in the final. I got Glimt.
winning the whole thing.
No, but losing to Bilbao.
Losing to Bilbao. Okay, gotcha. All right, and now getting into the Conference League, we have Real Betis versus Fiorentina.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Second leg, Florence. That's gonna be a great matchup. And then let me just make sure I'm pronouncing this team right.
Let me try.
Djurgården versus Chelsea. Second leg, London. So this guy's team over here. I don't know where they're from. But I got the Blues. I ain't gonna lie to you. Kendrick throwing it up. Shout out Classic Football Shirts. Who's on the back? Come on, man. It's a disgrace. Is that kid?
Yeah, type shit.
Betis versus Fiorentina. That's a great matchup.
That's
Betis just won again today. They beat Girona 3-1. Anthony goal, Cardoso goal. Shout out to the U.S. men's national team and Isco.
Yeah, I mean,
Moyes though, and that's a good
Our
matchup.
whole season is riding on Conference League at this point. Chelsea.
Oh yeah, for y'all, yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, y'all
it's
have to
like
win it.
the
You have to
only-
win it.
Like obviously we're still trying to make Champions League, but like we kind of have to bring home a cup.
Yeah,
And like just looking at the names of the teams remaining,
y'all have to win.
everybody's gonna be like Chelsea needs to win.
Bro. Yeah,
But the reality is Fiorentina and Betis are more informed than Chelsea. Like we've been struggling this whole
in form, I'd say.
yeah, all of 2025.
But similar overall league seasons, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like 2025, we've been actually
No.
dog shit.
Yeah,
So
y'all were like in a title race and then
yeah,
completely.
So we're not like I'm not confident at all. About
Yeah.
we're gonna win the whole thing. We should get past whoever the fuck this
Djurgården.
we should get past them.
They're a
but-
Swedish, bro. They're a Swedish team in 12th place.
Yeah, like,
Yo, I swear to God, y'all
Yeah.
better not lose, bro.
but we fucking drew. Who the fuck?
Well, okay, hold on.
What's the?
Let me
what's that
let me not
team?
let me not speak too
Luton
soon
Town.
because it's early. I guess the Swedish league
Ipswich?
starts.
Ipswich.
Oh,
We drew
Lord.
Ipswich the other day.
I guess the Swedish league starts at a different time because only 4 games have been played this
literally
season.
Okay, they
doesn't
probably won
matter,
last
bro.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That
I think
sucks.
Chelsea will get to the final.
Okay.
I think Betis will beat Fiorentina, but I don't know.
Second leg in Florence, by the way.
No way.
I think there's definitely way.
No way.
Who's more experienced too? Betis got Isco.
Okay.
Does Fiorentina have anyone like that?
Like, what do you mean, like in the middle of the like.
The Fiorentina
Just like
won it
who's
last
there?
year?
What?
No, they lost in the final.
Yeah.
They
to
won
West
it
Ham.
recently, right?
They've lost
Oh.
both times in the final.
Yeah,
Oh.
tragic.
They've
They might
lost
fuck
twice.
around and get the final lose to y'all. Like 3 is crazy. Not the conference league curse, like and the new curse.
Damn.
I mean, my dad from Sevilla, bro. I gotta go with Real Betis. They're in amazing form right now. They've been beat Real Madrid, tied Barca, been winning almost every single La Liga game besides the Villarreal one. Just won again today.
Yeah.
Isco's in incredible form. Anthony's playing the games of his life. Shout out Johnny Cardoso, the U.S. men's national team midfielder, who we desperately needed in the Nations League recently. Yeah, I got Betis, but I think it'll be close. I expect Moyes to get a goal. But I think even second leg in Florence, Betis get to the final. I'm going to go with them.
KMB. Moist Keen.
Yeah.
Definitely going to take care of Betis over 2 legs, especially if the second game's in Florence. Especially.
Yeah.
Fiorentina has just been too good this year. They're too well coached. And I think
You have them beating Chelsea?
I think that I think that's the thing with a final. Like, one game, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And depending on where the game is, I could totally see Chelsea losing that. Where's the final?
This shit might be in fucking... I don't know. Let me find it.
Noah.
UEFA Conference. Y'all beat them like 12-0, right? That was crazy. Let's see where the final is. Location. Wrocław, Poland.
Jesus Christ.
On Wednesday, May 28th. Damn, y'all don't even get a Saturday game? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or
Nah,
Thursday?
I don't know. about
Wednesday, May 28th,
May
a
bro.
random
Today.
Wednesday, I think Chelsea will probably win that. If there was a little bit more
Vibes to it.
vibes to it, I think perhaps
It'll be lit, though.
It'll be
still
lit.
be lit.
I think it might be a crazy 4-3 type final. I expect just
Do y'all
chaos.
fans travel like that? Do Chelsea fans
Of
travel?
course.
Bro,
Yeah.
British fans are very good. Very
we might
hooligan,
have
very...
a travel ban. They might have a
I
travel
heard bad
ban.
things about the Arsenal fans traveling though.
Hey, man. It was in the Burnabout, probably.
No, like they just didn't show up
What do you mean?
to Eindhoven. They didn't show up.
Oh, probably because it was over. They won
No,
like
the first
6-0.
leg. The first leg.
Okay, who do you
Oh,
have?
interesting.
Nah, so I think Chelsea will win it overall. I think Chelsea will beat Fiorentina in the final. It'll be a clear Chelsea victory, I think.
See?
Yeah, I got Chelsea over Betis for now. I might switch that though, cause shout out Sevilla, shout out my pops.
Enjoy your title.
Yeah, listen, y'all need it.
It's more than you.
Listen,
No, it's not.
so you guys are gonna have 2 Champions Leagues.
We also
yeah.
have a shitty trophy this
Yeah.
season.
Facts. Okay, fair.
What the
Super
Copa Italia, the one game in Saudi that y'all won,
Two.
the 2
The
games.
Beat Inter
Cannoli Cup.
Cannoli Cup when Conceição
Bro, enjoy your pierogi cup. Bro. Enjoy your pierogi cup.
Conceição was out there with big cigars in his first Milan derby. Now y'all just lost again in front of Jamar Chase. Come on, bro, that's
Gives
crazy.
a fuck
Yeah,
about
weren't
Jamar
you supposed to
Chase.
have a big game today?
Yeah, we lost Atalanta.
That was
No, he
today.
didn't play
No,
today.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But wasn't there supposed to be another game?
No.
Oh.
Every time it's like a Saturday morning, Seb's just in the chat like, "Fuck, we suck."
Yeah. Serie
Nah,
games got
'cause-
canceled today.
Yeah, because of the Pope.
But there wasn't a Milan game today.
Facts.
I thought it was the Milan Derby.
No. That's Wednesday.
Is that Serie A game?
R.I.P. to the
Copa
Pope,
Italia.
though.
Yeah.
We need to win that fucking game.
I saw a footy thing about the Pope actually. Let me find that real quick.
That was about him being like a lifelong footy fan.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Men in
he's
Blazers.
an Independientes fan in Argentina. He's Argentinian.
And there was like a weird number
just passed
thing
them.
that aligned. Let's see if I can find it.
Don't do that.
It's okay.
Pope, chill. He's a
Huh?
good Pope. He was a good Pope.
He was a good Pope. Well, that we know of.
Listen,
A lot of popes that we know of were bad.
we take people at face value in this world. You
I
know?
don't do
No, he
that
was a good Pope.
at all.
You know what I mean.
I do not do that.
You know what I mean by that.
Nah, no.
If you don't show me anything bad,
He was really tapped into soccer though. Like really tapped
Yeah,
into soccer.
big
culture.
fan. They said.
Well, all I know is the day before he passed away, he spoke about the violence needing to stop in Palestine, and then he died. So,
R.I.P. Shout out Pope speaking up, man.
It's a little suspect.
Speaking of that, bro, I just saw some crazy propaganda on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It was very.
He passed on Easter.
He passed the day after Easter.
Yes.
After using Easter as an opportunity to talk about Muslims dying in Gaza.
As he should. Real one.
I think it was great.
It is.
I think it's a little suspect. But
maybe he knew he was dying.
We'll save the conspiracy theories.
Listen, conspiracies. We haven't had those in a while.
Patreon.
We gotta get on Patreon, man. Then we can really have some fun out
Rest
here.
in peace to the Pope.
Yeah,
R.I.P. man. Pope
peace.
Francis. R.I.P. Pope Francis, man. Yeah. One more European competition going on. We have the UEFA Women's Champions League.
Yes, sir.
Leg 2s are about to come on because Leg 1 already happened this weekend. Unfortunate for your folks, Chelsea did lose 4-1 to Barca.
Fortunate for my folks because Melty Dumarnay scored a banger.
Look at that. He already forgot about Chelsea. Now he's Haitian, right? Like, already completely switched it, bro. Y'all got cooked by Barca.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, it happens. It's Barca.
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice.
Barca feminine.
Real Madrid this year won their first ever Women's El Clasico.
Yeah, and it was like a big fucking deal.
Because Barca's been that good.
Yeah.
And then Lyon beat Arsenal 2-1, and they host the second leg. I think another Barca-Lyon crazy showdown.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Somebody has to take them out, bro.
Yeah.
Is Melchi the best women's player in the world right now?
Some people think so.
I think so.
Baller.
I haven't seen anybody be able to stop her. And like she's doing at this point she's just doing silly things. Like I saw she took a shot from like half field like against who they play?
Arsenal.
Against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And it like pinged off the post. Like at this point she's just trying stuff.
I think she's probably the most feared person to go against as a defender right now.
Facts.
I like that.
Good luck.
That's fine.
Good luck. When she's running at you with space.
Yeah, you're cooked.
And to be on a team like Lyon, I think we'll see, man. I think Barca's shown a little bit of faults with like even just losing to Real Madrid for the first time. I think they're not as unbeatable as they were. I think it was 2 seasons ago with the 55 in a row, whatever it was. I think I'm gonna go with Lyon, definitely getting past Arsenal, and I think they'll win it. And I think Barca, there's no chance they lose by 3 to Chelsea, even if it's in London. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I don't know if you have any faith in the comeback for the Blues.
No.
I'm gonna go with Lyon. Who you got as champion?
Probably Barca though.
Yeah.
Overall. Yeah.
We'll see. Also very excited for the women's Euros this summer.
Yeah.
Another big opportunity for my Spanish ladies to get their stuff done, man. So, but speaking of the women's game, there's a really interesting thing going on before the Women's Champions League final. Is this 7v7 tournament. Have y'all heard about this?
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. So I'm going to read this out, and this is from The Guardian. So 8 of the world's leading women's clubs, including big name sides from the U.S. and Europe, will compete in a new lucrative 7-a-side tournament in Portugal during the week leading up to the season's Champions League final there. And it will be the series of a global grand slam of events that's expected to run beyond this year. So this independently run competition is funded by private U.S.-based investment, has a prize pot believed to extend to a significant 7-figure sum that may rival the money on offer for the Women's Champions League finalists. 8 teams to play yet are not confirmed, but Angel City's believed to be one of them, as is Bayern Munich, and then some of the other big names. So I think this is very interesting. And one thing you'll kind of see sometimes in women's sports is these independently run tournaments with larger amounts of financial investment coming to the side of like the officially sanctioned stuff because the women are unfortunately underpaid, and this is another way for them to get the money they actually deserve. You also see that kind of stuff with Unrivaled in basketball too, how a lot of WNBA players play WNBA ball and then go to other leagues. I think that's what this is kind of for footy. So very interested to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it reminds me of the 3v3 thing
Unrivaled
happening in women's ball. The U.S. investment piece is very interesting to me because I'm wondering who's actually behind it. I
think it's some private equity thing. Yeah, I think they see the opportunity and they're willing to put their bread behind it.
Yeah, I mean it's dope. 7v7 will be interesting. Have we seen what
Baller League?
That's TST. TST is the only one.
True.
But this is more like this is the actual teams.
Yeah, because TST is like it's not a joke, but it's like a little bit of like
you can't be on the team, right?
Yeah. Versus this is gonna be actually like
I say TST is more grassroots for the million. This is like the actual teams.
Fair.
Yeah, and in TST you can't be like on like if Porto has a team, you can't be on Porto and play. I don't think. I think you have to be like former or like you can't be on the actual team.
You can be a professional player though.
I think you can be professional, but I don't think you can be on
represent
those
your
European
team.
teams.
Yeah, you can't represent
like
your club.
Dortmund and West Ham, Bournemouth, and all them.
Well, that's not true though, because when Como played, they had their pro players playing.
Did they really?
Yeah, Cutrone played. Yeah.
Really? I did not even know about that.
So I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah. But no, this is interesting. So it's going to be at the Estadio José Alvalde on 24th of May. And yeah, man, just very, very interested to see how this goes. Games will have 2 15-minute halves. It'll be split into round robin groups of 4 and then semifinals and a final. And there's going to be a players' council to ensure players have a strong say on the playing environment as well. And there's going to have a sequel to this later in the year, also in Portugal. So seems like it's going to be an event-based thing to really give these women some more money.
Why not?
Yeah, maybe the second one.
I don't know. Those Iberians aren't very happy with tourists right now, so we'll see.
Tell me about that. Put me on, because I'm Iberian.
You haven't seen?
No, what happened?
They're like graffitiing all over the streets of like Lisbon and Barca, talking about tourists go home, tourists will hit you.
I have seen that on like
tourists
TikTok.
should die. And various other violence against people.
All like mainly there's those cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barca is more.
Barca
is more touristy than Madrid for sure.
Yeah, I think it's because it's classic gentrification.
Yeah.
Locals who can't live in homes because of like summer Airbnbs.
Yep.
They're making people have to move out of their neighborhoods.
Yeah. Barcelona food is
shit, but
bro.
I have a hard time feeling bad for the Portuguese and the Spanish because their home is being taken over.
It's interesting.
I have a hard time.
Hey man, I was taken over by Al Andalus too, so you know they're just being colonized by.
You don't see when the Spanish moved to like Marrakesh and Tangier for their summer vacation.
Of
homes,
course.
You don't see the Moroccans talking about tourists go home, tourists
they
should die.
I feel like it shouldn't happen anyway. Is my stance.
Ethical tourism.
Yeah, ethical tourism.
Ethical tourism
for sure. Ethical
How
tourism.
does one tourist ethically?
You rent and you buy local.
Yeah.
You do your research.
Yep. There's a lot of yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So I've been to Barca, and like, there's a lot of overpriced touristy vibes there that just feel kind of cheapens the culture of the city in certain places, especially these European beach towns. Because Madrid, if you don't know, is more like a New York. There's no beach. Compared to Barca, it feels like an LA kind of vibe. It can feel very kind of like, where's the real culture? And then higher prices for little restaurants that aren't even that good. So I can see where they're coming from for sure. Yeah.
Again, as a Spaniard,
that's a fact.
As a Spaniard, telling someone to go home is
well, tourism is also different than immigrants.
Yeah, but it lacks a little bit of historical context. Like,
yeah, but there's also just like poor Spanish people that are being affected.
Yeah,
and some of them are actually immigrants.
Poor Spanish is.
Yeah, but a lot of those. See, the thing though, a lot of those poor Spanish people are also immigrants from other countries. Absolutely. So it's not even like a monolithic.
Absolutely, but
white
from what
European.
I have seen, it has tended to be a very conservative right-wing agenda.
I understand.
Maybe.
I understand. Similar things that we see in like rural America, where it's like, there's poor whites, but like more often than not, the people you see being like, get the fuck out, immigrants aren't just the poor whites. It's also the people that are benefiting off of immigrants.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Also, immigration is different than tourism too. Very, very different.
Absolutely.
Very, very
like all nuanced discussions.
Very. For sure. But moving on from European competitions into the specific leagues, we got some good drama going on right now. So we're going to start real quickly in the Prem. We've got the teams that are fighting for the last few European qualification spots. Yeah. So I want to know who y'all think will take these positions if you want to pull up the table. Liverpool first for sure, Arsenal second, and then we have third place Nottingham Forest with 60 points.
That's crazy.
Newcastle fourth, 59 points. Man City fifth, 58 points. Chelsea sixth, 57 points. Aston Villa seventh, 57 points. Who do you have finishing in those positions? Or I guess what order would you go with?
Forest, Newcastle, City.
You're going to keep it as is right now?
Yeah, in that order.
And then Chelsea, Aston Villa?
Villa, Chelsea.
Jeez, they better win that Conference League. I'm going to go with, I think City's going to get fourth.
Doesn't matter for you guys. That's what I'm saying.
So
you guys win Conference, you go straight to Europa.
Ooh, and Villa plays City tomorrow. Oh, and then they play Forest. Oh, there's some. Oh, that's my fault. FA Cup, yeah. But Villa City's gonna be a great game.
They play tomorrow, you said?
Yep, they play tomorrow. It's gonna be a great game. Wow, lots to fight for. I'm gonna go Forest, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa.
Interesting.
What you think?
I have no faith that we'll land in Champions League. Our upcoming games are Everton, which we should win, but we'll probably draw. Liverpool, which we're
Loss.
definitely gonna lose. Newcastle, which we're
Loss.
likely to lose. Man United,
Loss.
which we can drop points, and then Nottingham Forest.
Oh yeah, I'll
is
do
our
have a
last
bad
game.
one. Yeah, I got y'all in sixth or seventh.
Yeah. But I don't, contrary to what most Chelsea fans will probably say, I actually don't want us to be in Champions League. I don't think we're really ready. Like, I think Europa League is the next step for us.
God, I hate the Prem so much. I hate the Prem.
Why you say that?
Because he has like the luxury to be able to say, we're not ready for that.
Yeah, I'll say
competition."
financially. Do you know how important it is to be in the
fucking important it is to be
Yeah,
fucking Champions
literally,
League?
bro.
We're gonna be shit for the next 7 years, bro.
Oh, y'all not making
We're gonna-
Champions
No,
League.
bro. We're gonna be shit for the next
Oh.
You
decade.
need an oligarch owner, bitch.
That's true.
We're not ready.
You need an oligarch.
We'll take our time.
You need an oligarch with yachts.
Okay, so y'all will win the Conference League most likely and get into the Europa League
Europa League,
regardless. So
inshallah.
fall to seventh, and then y'all be good. That's funny. Jokes, man.
I'd like to avoid the Champions League.
Yeah, yeah, right. Bro, that's kind of fucked up. Look at what shirt is that right there? You want to hold that jersey up? Yeah, hold that jersey up. You don't want to be in the Champions League supporting that club. Who's on the back?
No, it's the team that we have.
Drogba
right
on
now.
the
We
back?
got a bunch of young boys running around.
Oh my goodness. Now they're young boys.
Bodo Glimt.
We have no striker. All of our forwards are booty cheeks.
It's crazy that Galatasaray has 17 strikers.
Yeah, they always have
No one has a
17
striker
strikers.
except for
Yeah.
them. They have
They
7.
just like hoarding them and then
Yeah.
upcharging.
That's what they
Frankfurt, right?
Yeah.
The Turkish Frankfurt. All right, man. Well, moving on to La Liga. We had another crazy weekend. This is one of the best
Yes.
title races
do. Yes.
I've seen since, again, I said like since 2015-16. But the amount of chaos, the last-minute goals, the back and forth, this is just nuts. So we had Barcelona down 3-1, looking completely out of it after conceding a hat trick to Borja Iglesias in about the 61st, 65th minute. End up winning 4-3 with a 93rd, 94th minute penalty from Rafinha. Completely turns it around
Rafinha.
when if they didn't, it could have been, let's say a 2 or 3 point gap or 2 or 1 point gap leading into El Clasico in a few weeks. Real Madrid then the next day, chance after chance after chance, a Vinny goal that's rolled offside because of Endrick's big toe. That's how close it was. Penalty could have happened, didn't happen. And then Fede Valverde, the guy who does not know how to score normal goals, scores an absolute worldie.
His
Not from
discography
as
of
much
goals
distance,
is
but the technique.
astounding.
Stupid.
Yep.
93rd minute to get the win. And if that wasn't enough, Las Palmas beat Atletico, the third place team, with a 93rd minute winner themselves. The team that's also beaten Barcelona. So Las Palmas has ironically been kind of part of the title race this season too. So I mean, it's just absolutely nuts, bro. Absolutely nuts. And they needed that too because they were sitting in 18th place for relegation. So
Where are they
yeah,
now?
man, they are now sitting in 17th place thanks to that win. 1 point ahead of 18th.
So that doesn't fully keep them up, right?
No, definitely not. 6
Seven-
games left.
17th in 17th you're
Just
still
6
relegated,
games
right?
left.
No, 17th is a safe. Yeah, 6 games left. 17th is safe, but
Okay,
they're only safe by 1 point with 6
There's
games left.
And who's behind
six
them?
games left?
Yeah, 6 games.
Fuck.
You think it's a lot?
Yeah.
It's quite a
I
bit.
thought there was only a couple left.
No,
it's quite a bit.
6 in La Liga. I think Prem is 5 though.
True, yeah. True.
Yeah.
Who's behind Las Palmas?
Alaves, Leganes, Valladolid. Valladolid is cooked. Alaves is 1 point behind. Leganes is 3 points behind.
No, so it's close.
It is. And then Girona is 34 points, who just lost today to Betis.
Generational fall off from them.
Crazy. They were in the Champions League this
That
season.
was generational fall.
They were in the Champions League this season.
Currently in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They sold all their fucking stars.
Yeah. Well, because they have one of those models, and it just
Yeah.
has not worked out.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was an insane weekend in La Liga. I'm not gonna lie.
It was
Like,
incredible.
it was actually like disgustingly entertaining.
Yeah.
I hope Barca goes on and win it just because, like, again, to me, they're the most exciting team to watch this
That's
season.
fair.
Like,
Especially just the goals.
every
like,
single game, it's like they're just filthy. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy. But I was happy for Iglesias because, I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck, you score a hat trick against Barcelona at the end of the season. I think Real Madrid deserved more goals in that game.
For sure.
That Trivella pass from
To
Vinny
Jude, ridiculous. Okay,
that he
Vinny had a
missed.
great game. Shout out Vinny. He was
Bro,
going
he was going
No,
crazy.
bro, he was dragging defenders. That's the
Yeah.
Vinny that should have won the
He
ball.
was
bro.
like
going
beating.
crazy.
He was beating defender
everything.
after defender.
Yeah.
But the announcers were talking mad shit. They were like, "Why are we seeing this now? We didn't see it against
Yeah.
Arsenal." I was
Yeah.
like, "Ah."
It's not that simple, bro.
I was
Not
like,
that simple. Yeah.
But yeah, nah, I don't know. It's exciting. I hope Barca can bring it home. But Real Madrid is making it interesting.
Yeah.
Stealing those like late winners and everything. So we'll see.
These midweek games are good. Barca plays 7th place Mallorca, who's been in
Yeah.
phenomenal form and has probably the nicest kit in La Liga. Real Madrid versus Getafe, maybe not the toughest opponent, but it's a local derby.
Yeah.
El Clasico's coming up. I mean,
It's getting good.
this is
bro.
a great way to end the season. And speaking of El Clasico, we have the Copa del Rey final coming up Saturday, April 26th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Real Madrid versus Barca. Same as 2011, 2014, all these historic moments, the
Yeah.
Bale around Bartra. Who do you have winning it?
Real Madrid.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Ancelotti's had enough of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Quite frankly,
It's been some nonsense, bro.
it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
So
My fan base annoys me sometimes.
I think, I think Real Madrid got it. Just because at a certain point, when things start to go down, Real Madrid always finds a way to kind of have some type of like
Saving
reason
grace.
why, saving grace, some sort of like thing to kind of hang their hats on and be like, hey, but look at this. Like at the end of the day, we did that.
Yeah.
Copa del Rey is something like I don't see Real Madrid going trophyless this season.
I agree.
So something has to happen. I think Copa del Rey is where they'll take that trophy.
Yeah.
And to take it off Barca is meaningful. So
Yep. Yeah, I think if I were to predict Real Madrid's season, just like chance-wise, I think they probably win Copa del Rey, lose La Liga. But I think just that one-off game, knowing how much Barca has been better than them in their matchups this season, 4-0 at the Bernabeu, I think 4-1 in Supercopa final. You just cannot let them beat you for a third time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens in La Liga happens, but for the chance at another trophy, and this time actually a major trophy, which means obviously a lot more than Supercopa, disappointing in the Champions League, even though you've won 2 of the last 3, you can't win it every year. Like, you have to be reasonable about that. I think they get it done. Madrid's known as like a cup competition team. Ancelotti is that type of manager.
Yep.
All the Champions League and cups that he's won. I think they get it. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be tight, but I can see them in a 3-2, 2-1 sort of thing. Yeah.
I feel like on the converse, this is Barca's opportunity to really like take it to Real Madrid. You know what I'm
They
saying?
did that shit.
And be like, yo, every time we played y'all in an important matchup, we spanked y'all.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going into this matchup like, yo, let's just like smother them out of everything. They're fighting for a treble this season. That's a big thing on the line for them.
Yep.
So I think on the converse, it's like Barca's also going into this matchup like, bro, we have the chance to do something like historical.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think is gonna fuel them to victory. So,
Got you.
but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Like
No, not Madrid in the final. Madrid
Yeah,
in finals.
I think it's gonna be
yeah.
a little bit more intense. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Any score predictions, goal scores, moments?
I think Endrick will get on the score sheet.
I think Rodrigo 2 goals.
He's that type of guy.
He shows up, man.
He does.
It's a player that shows up. So
Hendrick's been the top scorer in the Copa del Rey actually for them. 5 goals. He's been really
That's
good.
Surprise, yeah.
Yeah.
Éxito, my boy.
Yeah, I think he'll get it done too.
I think Lamine will have a big moment,
I'm sure.
an assist or a
One
goal
pass,
or
one. He's
something.
gonna do some shit, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna do some shit for sure. Absolutely crazy. One other kind of interesting La Liga story. I just want to shout out this player who's had quite the journey. Shout out Chris Corte coming on our pod, representing the UPSL and talking about what that grassroots league does here for giving players opportunities. So this former UPSL National Finals MVP, Jan Diomande, has joined La Liga side CD Leganés and actually started and played against FC Barcelona.
Such a
So
cool
just
story.
an incredible story and just shows you never know where you start, but the places that you can go from after that, that's absolutely incredible. Once again, in La Liga, playing against Barcelona, they actually gave him a really good fight in that game too. So yeah, big shout out to Diomande, man. That's incredible. And he only joined in January too, so to already be making that impact, what a story, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you needed some inspiration today, just know that there is someone who started out playing essentially in the UPSL, which is America's version of non-professional football in America, mind you, and made it all the way to starting for a La Liga team against Barcelona, who is currently trying to stay in La Liga for Leganés.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to support people with incredible stories, take a look at this one. It's just a really good story all around.
Yeah, man. UPSL doing some really, really exciting stuff.
The other story I definitely want to properly touch on.
Yeah.
I know we kind of just mentioned it, but Las Palmas is.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people, so those are our family. So we
Yeah.
need to kind of give them a quick shout out. I mean, as you said, Las Palmas this season has been kind of in the mix, in the drama a little bit.
For sure.
They managed to beat Barcelona. They beat Barcelona. They drew against Barcelona.
They beat Barcelona earlier this year.
in
Barcelona.
In Barcelona.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, Las Palmas managed to beat Barcelona in Barcelona, And they also managed to beat Atletico Madrid in Madrid, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Oh, actually, at home.
So they also managed to beat Atletico Madrid at home back in the Canary Islands. An incredible club, super well-run club, and a club that is historical within La Liga.
Yep.
They're fighting for promotion, they're fighting to stay in La Liga.
Yep. Safe as of now.
They are right now in a they're right now in a, I guess, what do you call it, a relegation race? But what's the proper terminology for it?
Just fighting against relegation. Yeah.
They're right now in the race to stay up in La Liga. Can you read out the table one more time?
Yep. So Las Palmas are sitting in 17th place with 32 points. Behind them in 18th is Alaves with 31 and Leganés with 29. And then ahead of them is 16th place Girona, 34. Sevilla in 15th, 37. And Valencia and Espanyol both have 38. And then Getafe above that, 39. So 6 games left.
6 games left. If you guys are looking for some stories to take a look at that aren't just in the top half of the table,
yep,
the bottom half of the La Liga table is bringing some incredible stories with some underdog teams that are pulling up some incredible upsets. So, honestly, you really never know what might happen, as we just saw.
Yeah.
A club like Las Palmas is able to take points off of a Barca and Atletico Madrid over the course of the season. So, make sure you keep one eye on the bottom half of the table as well.
Yeah, and maybe the nicest jersey in Europe this entire season. That home,
yeah, it's beautiful.
With the
yellow, the blue is beautiful.
Come on, man, with the blue collar, the print on it, the reflectiveness of it. Yeah, shout out Las Palmas, man. Shout out Las Palmas.
Shout out our boys from the Canary Islands.
Yeah, absolutely, and we had, of course, the Canary Cup we've talked about before. So, shout out to them, big time. Keeping it into title races though, Serie A.
Yes.
Crazy title race. Bologna, what a moment. What a moment.
Yeah. So right now the Serie A is in a really, really cool place where both Inter and Napoli are tied on 71 points, first and second, tied for points. But there's a really cool rule in Italian soccer that essentially dictates that if you are tied on all deciding factors that would allow you to kind of edge out and win the league based on whether it's goal difference, whether it's head-to-head, whether it's yellow cards, this, that, and the third, what ends up happening is a playoff match happens, a one-match deciding game between, right, in this case, it would be Inter and Napoli. Mm-hmm. I think it's based on yellow cards, and the yellow cards decides who's the home and who's the away team. But that one match essentially decides the title, and it's played at the end of the season once all matches have been played. I think it's super cool. I think it's a really, really cool, unique quirk from Italian soccer. Of course, you need to always have the drama in the league. Nothing can ever be simple.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to take it? Inter's still in European competitions, of course.
Yeah.
Napoli has played, I think, half as many games as Inter has this season.
Yeah.
Because Inter is also still in the domestic cup,
and
has a lot to play for as well. So Inter is honestly looking at a treble. There's a couple cool stories as well because you have Arnautovic, who was at Inter the first time when they won the treble.
2010, right?
Didn't play as well back then. Was still a young kid with Balotelli and all the kids back then. Has come back kind of as like a super sub, and now has a chance to win the treble again. So on the other hand, you have Conte, who's come back in his first season with Napoli, who managed Inter prior.
Yep.
Has brought Lukaku to Napoli,
yep,
who helped Inter win the Serie A. And now with a bunch of players from the Prem that are recognizable to American fans, like McTominay, has managed to take Napoli toe-to-toe with Inter this season. He's built an incredible front line with Neres from Benfica as well. So, yeah, it's super interesting to see kind of like the neck-and-neck, topsy-turvy way that the Serie A has gone this year. But who do you guys think is going to take it?
I'm going to go with Inter. I'm going to go with a more recent experience, more established team. I mean, Napoli won the Scudetto, completely fell off, then brought Conte and got back to where they are today. But I think it'll probably take them at least one more season to actually go on to fully win the trophy. So I think it'll be close, but just due to all the experience and as good as Lukaku is, I just think Lautaro and Thuram up there is just too much in terms of even just comparing the strikers alone. I think they're just a little bit more of a complete team, a little more experienced. They've had their coach for a few years. So I think for those reasons, they edge out Napoli. But next season, Napoli might get it.
Yeah. I'm going with Inter.
Can you say why?
I think Inter just has the strongest team. And at the end of the day, like Gabe mentioned, they're going for the treble at the moment. So they have a little bit more to fight for. That's not to say that Napoli should be slept on, but I think Inter, with everything that they got going for them right now, will edge it out.
For me, honestly, I think Napoli will do it just because of all the competitions that Inter is still in.
Fair.
And the legacy that Conte has in the Italian league. He's a winner in Italy. That guy wins. That guy wins and wins and wins and wins. And he kind of knows the magic formula almost. Like, he picked Lukaku, cherry-picked him.
Yep.
Found McTominay, cherry-picked him. Found Neres, cherry-picked him. And has put together a team that in his head, because Conte doesn't manage not to win.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly what he needs to take it all the way to the end. And I'm pretty sure Napoli will end up winning the league this season and get that. This would be their 4th Scudetto.
In 2 and 3 years, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts for their history.
Which is historical for Napoli.
Because they hadn't won since Maradona.
Exactly.
2 and 3 years, but they dreaming in Naples. That's incredible.
Indeed.
If that happens. Wow. We'll have to see.
Going back into La Liga, as always, every week we have to bring you guys our fantasy picks of the week. So this week we have 3 La Liga games that are super important as the title race and all the races on all sides of the table are coming to an end. Gabe, who are you picking this week for your fantasy team?
Well, first off, you got to go with the matchup, Real Sociedad versus Athletic Club. This is a rivalry match in the País Vasco. And I'm going to go with the home team on this side, playing in the Anoeta Stadium with Mikel Oyarzabal, one of the top scorers for Real Sociedad this season across all competitions. I think he's going to get on the score sheet. He's a very, very legendary player. He actually scored the Euro winning goal for Spain this past summer. So if you're looking for a person to capitalize on big moments and someone who's been super consistent for La Real, it would definitely be him. So I'm going to go with him on this one. I think he'll definitely get on the score sheet. If you had to pick another Real Sociedad player, Kubo would be another good pick as well.
Yeah, and on the others, I'm going to introduce this. As part of the race to win the title, we have Real Madrid versus Celta Vigo. I'm going to go with Borja Iglesias. He dropped an insane hat trick on Barca a few weeks ago, and I think he'll be gunning to do the same thing, capture the world's attention, and put himself on the main stage as one of the best finishers in La Liga.
And lastly, from me, a huge game in the Canary Islands, Las Palmas against Valencia. I am picking Ollie McBurney, the bearded Scotsman, to get a goal in this one. I think that Las Palmas is in a really, really good patch of form. 2 matches ago, they beat Atletico Madrid. So regardless of what you say about this club, they have some serious fight in them, and I think the Scotsman up top will lead them to an important victory.
Love it. Getting back into some of the other leagues, I want to talk about some Bundesliga streets will never forget type of teams.
Yes.
So between Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund, and Bayern Munich, I'm going to give you guys a team from each, and you tell me who means more to you.
Okay.
So we have Bayer Leverkusen last season, undefeated, winning the Bundesliga title, DFB Pokal Cup champions, and almost had the treble if it wasn't for the Europa League. So that would be the Bayer Leverkusen team. We have Bayern Munich, treble winners in 2013. You remember Ribéry and Robin, the V-neck, beating Dortmund in the final.
Yep.
And then speaking of Dortmund, their 2011 Bundesliga title-winning team with a young Lewandowski that had just pulled up, Shinji Kagawa, and a real launching career moment for coach Jurgen Klopp. So which one of these teams would you like to kind of give a profile to?
I think I'll have to pick. I don't know. That's a really good question. I think I'll have to pick that Dortmund team, to be honest.
Yeah, that was an era.
I have to say that just because I find Dortmund to be the extra addition to the Bundesliga that makes the Bundesliga what it is. Of course, you have Bayern. Of course. But when Dortmund is good and they kind of are able to play as the foil in the Bundesliga at the peak and they're able to defeat like Bayern Munich in these seasons, I think it makes the Bundesliga that much more special.
Yeah.
And so just from a storytelling perspective, I think whenever that era where Klopp was just kind of figuring out how to manage in Germany, how to kind of defeat the reigning champions Bayern Munich, Kagawa, man, Lewandowski when he was playing in yellow,
Yep.
pretty sure Götze was still there, Hummels was still there.
Yep.
That is an iconic team. I think those are the teams that Americans fell in love with, even just on like, well, back then it was called FIFA, now EAFC.
Yeah.
I think
for sure.
that is kind of that era that I think means the most to us here stateside in terms of the Bundesliga from a neutral perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it has to be the Leverkusen team from last season.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit of recency bias,
Mm-hmm.
but I think given that was their first ever Bundesliga title, Xavi Alonso had just been appointed the season prior. This was his first full season in charge. Having all the characters on that team from Boniface to Frimpong to Florian Wirtz.
Yep. Incredible.
They just like seemed like they were having fun with it, and it made the Bundesliga seem like a little bit more, not unserious, but just like joyful. And
Yeah,
kinda,
elevated vibes.
Yeah, it had like the vibes were just like, oh, it's not just like structured military grade Bayern Munich crushing everybody. It was like we have a team that kind of plays a little bit of that free flowing Spanish, dare I say, style football.
Yeah, Spanish coach though.
That went undefeated and were the invincibles for that season. So I think that's probably my favorite out of all.
Yeah. I mean, I got to go with Bayern Munich in that treble season in 2013. I mean, to win the treble in the era of the Barca and Madrid you had to get through in the Champions League, I mean, that's crazy enough. And a Dortmund in your league, which you had to play in the final, and kind of what it meant for German football as they went on to win the World Cup in 2014. I just think to be able to do that, to be that dominant in that era, and the wing pairing we always love to talk about of Ribéry and Robben, I just don't know how you can almost compare anyone in history to them, specifically within the Bundesliga for what they were able to do that season. Not just from even the statistical standpoint, but the fear it put into defenders, just the whole vibe of it. Ribéry, should he have won the Ballon d'Or? A lot of people will say yes. To get a treble in that year, just absolutely incredible. So I'm going to have to go with them for that one. Yeah.
So, speaking of winning things, speaking of trebles and champions and trophies, so Vincent Kompany will win the Bundesliga for the first time in his career, and this is, of course, his first season at Bayern Munich. So it's an incredible job from the new Belgian coach. But we have to say that there was a lot of criticism for the Belgian manager during, prior, and still currently in regards to kind of his appointment as Bayern Munich coach. Because, of course, prior to become Bayern Munich's coach, he only really managed at Burnley and then was a player coach in Belgium as well at Anderlecht. Sean Dyche, who is a figure in British football. I don't know what type of figure, but he's a figure in British football for sure.
Brexit ball.
Yes. He said some interesting things about Kompany. He said that he left Burnley in not the greatest position when he left. And he was like, oh, I wish I could have gotten that job. He basically was like, I'm not really sure what the criteria was for Vincent Kompany to kind of be appointed as a Bayern manager. But in his first season, he's taken a Bayern Munich that didn't win the Champions League or the Pokal last year or the league, and at least he's moved them one step closer to where Bayern Munich should normally be, having them win the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So what do you guys kind of how do you guys kind of feel about Kompany's appointment to Bayern Munich, but also just kind of his legacy moving forward and what you think he needs to accomplish in his second season moving forward to really cement himself as a proper Bundesliga Bayern Munich coach?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's impressive. Like, they won 9 Bundesligas in a row before Leverkusen did what they did. So just bringing Bayern back to where they need to be, I think is kind of step one in it. It's not fair to say you need to get a treble in your first season there. First off, Bayern has not won that many trebles, right? And they haven't, of course, done it since 2013. So just being able to even win the Bundesliga alone in your first season, I think is very important. And in terms of second season, I think you want to start looking like you're one of the best teams in Europe again. Deeper Champions League run, potentially winning it. I know they wanted to get to the final in Munich this year. So that's what I would say for season 2, kind of strengthen on some of those pieces that are missing right now. But to win it in your first season, no matter what, I think is impressive, especially because they didn't win it last year. So it's a tangible improvement that Bayern fans expect.
So I don't know how this entered my algorithm.
I don't know how anything enters any algorithm anymore, bro. The stuff I be seeing.
But before the match against Inter, one of Kompany's like assistant coaches posted something on his story that was bad funny. He posted on his story saying, quote, "Freshly single man, 40 years old, looking for a woman called Natalie so I don't have to redo my tattoo." No context. Like, this is like hours before like the biggest moment, one of the biggest moment in Dortmund's Bayern season.
Yeah.
And like he was legitimately like making a joke about how I guess he broke up with his significant other, and he was like, I need another woman with the same name so I don't have to cover up my tattoo.
This guy.
But yeah, fans were like reacting.
That is like, so funny, bro.
Like, you're hella unserious. But like, he just also looks like a very goofy guy. Like.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So it was just funny.
That's hilarious, bro. I've actually never seen that before. And the coach too.
Yeah.
You're wildin', bro. Y'all got away at the San Siro, right?
Yeah. And then they lost. So.
They did, man. They did. What a crazy way to crash out of the Champions League. Well, I hope you get your Natalie out there, man.
Yeah, facts.
Wishing love and peace to everybody out there. So,
what were you?
Coaches need love too, man.
One more Bundesliga thing.
Let's get it.
So we're at the tail end of the season right now in all of sports. Bayern Munich seems to have clinched the Bundesliga. The question on everyone's minds right now, and the question of the week for the Bundesliga is, where does Bayern Munich rank as a franchise, just in sports in general? So, of course, I can throw out some major European clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, but also stateside, back home here, Lakers, Celtics, Dodgers, Yankees, even the Patriots. In this global world of sports franchises, do we think that Bayern ranks in the top 10? Are they a top-tier club? Are they below that? Be honest. What do you guys think?
I'll put them in the top 10, and that's only because of their dominance. Like, when you think about the Bundesliga, you think about Bayern.
Yep.
You think about titles. You think about the best talent in the world going to play for that team. So even if we're not going like based strictly off of like who's won the most titles or who's like had whatever win-loss column, like just off them being like the face of the entire country, they got to be up there in terms of like top 10, top 15 like organizations in the world.
I'd probably say top 10. I think it's hard to compare Footy with the other ones, but I think just if we're going to really talk global scale and even include things like fan base, you probably have to include 5-ish Footy teams, which I would probably put Bayern around 5th after, Real, Barca, maybe Milan, and a Liverpool United. Something like that.
It might be higher.
Maybe higher. I just know, I'd say Madrid and Milan got that, but Bayern could be all the way up to 3. And if you do the and then how do you compare modern dominance versus the past, etc., players going on to win World Cups. But I think they're up there, and I think they're comparable to some of these larger franchises in, basketball, NFL, baseball as well. I think maybe they don't have all the numbers of a Celtics and the Lakers, but domestically they do. And if you go Champions League wise, maybe they're more like the Spurs. So that's why it's kind of hard to do the full comparison. But I think overall dominance from domestic to European, the players they've had, what they mean to the sport, global fan base, I think you can put them top 10.
Yeah, I think Bayern is the face of their league. So as soon as you become the face of your league, I got to bump you up. And then on top of that, in Europe, they've dominated. So I got to bump you up even more for that. And then also just like the way that they have dominated their own league makes them such a great franchise.
Yeah.
Not just from what happens on the field, but also off the field in terms of how their fans are bought into the club. That's super rare within European football. For them to be a fan-owned club that has been this dominant and this successful.
That's facts.
I think all of those pieces put on the table together make them at least a top 6, top 7 franchise in the world. Yeah. And I think they can be on par with the Celtics and the Lakers and the Madrids and the Yankees of the world, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. It's a fact.
But let us know what you think. Where does Bayern rank as a franchise in the world?
Thanks.
All right, y'all. This Saturday, April 26th, we are hosting a soccer jersey day party between Five Side Media and Vino Vrade, collabing both of the brands together, which I could not be happier about. It will be at Cafe Erzuli from 5 to 10 p.m. We got global sounds from the likes of our boy DJ Soleil right here. You know what I'm saying? Big Soleil, stop playing. Taylor Nuri, Nikki, and Spongito as well. Shout out Classic Football Shirts, who will be giving out prizes based on whoever has the best jersey. Got an absolutely crazy Real Madrid one here from back in 96. This is before I was even born, man. Kendrick, you got on some crazy drip as well.
Yeah. I got on a very classic 2012 Chelsea Champions League edition kit. Drogba on the back.
Come on.
It's going to be a great time. If you don't have a kit, hit us up. We'll make sure you got one. It's dirty season, so before you get tired, before you start making up, I gotta go to bed.
Facts.
I got this in the morning. Pop out, have a good time. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. Another kit. Seb, what we got here?
Once again, shout out Classic Football Shirts, 1998 to 2000. Mr. President of Liberia.
Literally.
Tim Weah's father. George Weah. Pull up. Make sure you guys bring a big kit. We got gifts for you guys, prizes for you guys.
And what did this guy do in 94? Talk about it.
He won the Ballon d'Or, man.
The first and
ever African.
only
Sheesh.
African.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, Nivea Men is pulling through with the samples, with the products. Because, guys, we're sponsored by Nivea Men. We cannot have y'all smelling crazy out here. Take care of your skin. Take care of your smells.
Stay moisturized.
Stay moisturized, brother.
Moisturized.
Listen, if you pulled up, damn, I just shaved, I forgot. But we have some sensitive, soothing post-shave balm for you, bro.
Sheesh.
Maybe you forgot your deodorant. You got to repurpose this. We got you with 100 products, man. Listen, we got you. We got you covered. It's 5-a-side Media. It's Vino Vrade collabing. It's going to be an absolute time. There's a party afterwards, too. It's lit. It's up.
Let's get it.
We'll see y'all there.
Cool.
Come on. All right, y'all. Been great talking about all this current stuff, all this news, title races, yada, yada, yada. But it's not 5-a-side without the reaction. So we are going to react to Disco Foot. These guys have not seen this before. Let's play the clip. So, are y'all watching this?
Yeah.
This is a sport combining soccer and dancing. It is called Disco Foot. Okay? This is literally a soccer match and a dance performance in one. It combines the basic rules of soccer, but also has another difference. Dancing is required at all times. Continuous dance improvisation allows the soccer ball, but also the merit to be referred to as the battle, and it provides a vital role in the game. Talk to me, bro. What are your thoughts on this? It was started by a French contemporary dance company. Sam, what's it? Listen, bro. What's up? Talk to me. They had a TV special 2018, Disco Foot. This is big. It's a real sport.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very confusing. I'm not going to lie.
It's a real sport, bro.
I mean, I hear it. Like, people like to dance. People like to dance, so it's good to bring the disciplines together. But I don't know. I don't understand the purpose.
Bro, you got 2 teams of 12 players, a DJ, a referee, and 3 dance judges.
Does the
Like,
ref,
So the
it's
objective,
probably mad fun for them.
bro,
does
the
the ref have to dance as well?
Nah, he's judging, man. So the objective is to not only score goals, but also to impress the judges with dance move, earning points for style and creativity. It's like if you got awarded for dribbling.
Honestly, it's on some shit like, you know when we saw the break dancing at the Olympics?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this shit is whack. If it was niggas doing this shit, it might be lit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you, bro. While traditional football teams have not adopted disco football, it has become a popular event at festivals and celebrations. Nah, the meta AI breakdown is
While
crazy.
traditional football teams
Yo,
are yet to adopt. Fuck outta here.
As if it's supposed to be part of it. Hey, man. It's something. It's something.
Fuck that.
I'm crying. Another thing I wanted to talk about. So let me pull this up real quick. First off, it's playoff time in the NBA and in New York City. Shout out the Knicks for winning Game 1 over Detroit. I got the signed John
Bing
Starks
bong.
jersey. Stop playing Bing Bong, fuck your life, Detroit. Shout out my Detroit homies. Shout out London. Shout out Big Sean, but it's over. But speaking
one
of
game.
basketball, yeah, but they're going to lose. Speaking of basketball, though, this got me thinking about how basketball commentary in the U.S. is at a very high level.
Super.
Mike Breen, bang, like what that means. Or sometimes the rare double bang from Mike Breen. You know what I'm saying? As a Knicks fan, we also got Walt Clyde Frazier. You've got the Hornets commentator who's gone viral. You got the Bulls one who's been making fun of. American sports commentary in the NBA, super high.
Yes.
American commentary in soccer,
Very low.
So what do you think we need to bridge that gap? Because I feel like there's such a lack of an American soccer commentary identity. And we always have a bunch of British on the broadcast. Shout out the ones that are good. But I feel like we're really lacking that game calling vibe. And I think it would mean a lot to have our own personal energy when we watch these games. Because we texting each other from, it's like, what is this? We always talk about it.
I agree. That's a really, really, really good point. I think one of the things that I also enjoy with the NBA is being able to watch. This isn't necessarily answering your question,
That's okay.
but with the NBA, you can watch the actual home broadcast much easier.
Yep.
And so it's quite a bit of fun to be able to watch local New Orleans TV or local I don't know.
MSG here.
Yeah,
the Knicks,
local DC TV, local Florida TV to watch the Heat, because you can actually hear the commentators who support their team but also know a little bit more stories about the team.
Yeah.
And I think one of the more viral home teams that have home team commentaries over the years, at least from Europe, has been the Milan commentator.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen the Milan commentator who clearly supports Milan
The
during
super
games.
biased, yeah.
I think the US, at least US soccer, could benefit from a little bit of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of clear commentary, alliances and biases towards different teams. Stephen A. Smith is a Knicks fan. We know he's a Knicks fan, and that's cool. We're fine with that. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Sharp, that's a Lakers fan. We know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, we're okay with that. We understand those personalities have those different, like, allegiances.
Yep.
And it makes it more fun and more interesting. In the U.S., I don't think we've really found on TV those broadcast personalities yet that are American. CBS has done an amazing job.
Yeah, they have.
However, from us, for us, doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So I think definitely bringing a bit of like basketball style commentary to soccer would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because the sports aren't that far apart, to be honest.
They're not. They're very relatable. What do you think? Any other thoughts on it? I heard you.
Somebody put on the tracker something about incels.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Very interested in.
I would
what
love
that
to bring
was
this up.
about.
Can I?
Please.
So something I've
It's like,
noticed
what the fuck?
is that I feel like the level of toxic sports commentary from fans on social media is related to incel internet culture. When you think of the level of hate that athletes doing nothing wrong whatsoever get, and it to me seems like it's the same kind of negative pain and hurt that's coming from incels that they direct towards women, that they direct, and it's the same people hating on this athlete for, who's going to win MVP, whatever, that then shit on the women's sports in the comments. And I think it's like 100% related to the young male insecurity, like for sure. Because I'll give you an example in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has had a ridiculous season. His team has one of the best net ratings of all time, which is like goal difference, but in basketball. They're the number 1 seed. They just won the first game, won by 51 points. He's just balled out. Maybe statistically he individually was not as good as Jokic, but some of the insane hate Shai gets, I'm like, what did he do to y'all, bro?
Yeah.
He just dresses fly, is with
That's
his
part of it.
is just exactly. He's with his wifey, with his kid. No off the court drama. All his teammates love him. He even plays in a small market, Oklahoma City. He's not like in flashy LA, New York, Miami. What did he do to y'all? What did Jason Tatum do to y'all, bro?
Well,
what makes Jason corny? You know what I mean?
Well,
okay, he has some
I can
comments.
answer what makes him
he
corny.
has some comments, but it's like the level of hate, even rival fan bases, the level of like rooting against a Vinny or against a Lamine. I'm like, bro, chill out. And I think the level of it is directly related to that same sort of insecure incel culture and that kind of hateful energy. Of like
I agree.
people who are not actually outside and
I think on the
experiencing real
internet
life.
we've normalized like young men just being rude and
Yeah.
shitty and mean and
Terrible,
comments. I think
yeah.
we've just normalized it and like almost, and it also comes from a place of a lack of recognition for what other people do.
Yeah.
And such short-term memory as
Oh,
well.
of course. Oh my God.
This brings me to the way that Real Madrid fans were treating Ancelotti.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, for some, Ancelotti's won, 2 out of the past 3 Champions Leagues?
Yes, and he won in 2014 as well. And they won La Liga last season and in 2022.
I mean, he's a top 5 coach of all
Yeah.
time. But maybe top 3 of all time.
Yeah. With coaches, I'd say less incel and more just hater energy, but it is in similar
But
ways.
it's still young men.
But watch this. I'll give it back to you, though, on some like the Jude and Vinny hate sort of stuff. Bro, they just won the Champions League. The dude has scored getting like 30 goals and 20 assists every season, Vinny. Like, yeah, there's no reason to hate to this level and to like actively root against their failure.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
It's funny because I saw that on the tracker, but I was also reading up on this theory that I discovered today randomly called the dead internet theory. Have y'all heard of this?
Of course.
No,
So
I
it's-
haven't. I might have, but I don't. The name doesn't ring.
Especially in
So-
sports. Especially from sports teams, the dead internet
Yeah.
theory.
So-
Especially.
So it's basically this idea that the internet now is made up of more like AI generated like comments, images, and things that aren't, and like coming from bots, things that aren't actually like humans
Yeah.
creating posts, creating images, creating comments, and like this theory is basically saying that the internet has been dead for like 5 or 6 years. And
Yeah.
the past couple, the version of the internet we've been consuming is just like AI and bot generated.
Yeah.
So when you see like a lot of these comments that are like just insane hate,
Yeah.
a lot, like definitely a lot of them aren't real people, but then a lot of them are also just bots.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's just interesting to think about how that also then kind of reflects back into real life.
Yeah.
Where it's like you might not even be like a hateful person, or you might not even have that like tendency in you.
Yeah.
But you're seeing all this content that is so negative,
Yeah.
and it starts forming the way that you start thinking about
It
people
does.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of this like cyclical thing as well.
You know who
Yeah.
I heard about dead internet theory from?
Ooh,
Moyes.
damn.
He doesn't believe in the internet.
It's
Like, as a
fair.
professional athlete, Moise Keane, like, this is a story that he kind of, like, spoke about on a podcast. He said that he doesn't believe that the internet is something that he should even care about. And a lot of athletes say, oh, I don't check my phone, But of course they will, because at the end of the day, we're human and we care about what people think.
Yeah.
What Moy said was that he doesn't believe in the internet because he doesn't believe it's real. He doesn't believe it's human beings.
Yeah.
And I think that was such an interesting, like when I heard him say that, I was like, that's so fascinating, because essentially you get to write everything off and just be yourself.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely validity to like.
Yeah. Especially in like Moyes is an athlete, 20 million followers. Yeah. That's what brings in the bots. At a smaller scale, and it's like people it's a little bit of a different interaction. Sure, But like fame, like you just for your own sake and mental health, you just cannot get into that. But it's the same in music and art and movies and everything, and like it's every genre.
Like
honestly.
And it's weird the amount of things that I've been seeing about it lately. I don't know if like the universe.
It's the bots.
Because
imagine you getting bots about that.
Probably, bro.
Nah, because I saw somebody was talking about. I hate that this was in my algorithm.
It's okay.
Somebody was talking about who's the Kai Cenat group?
AMP.
They did like a GQ like 10 things I can't live without.
Yeah.
And they were like scrolling through the comments, and it was like it was hella comments that were just the same thing. Like it was like, this is so cool, or something like like a disgusting amount of like the repeat, and like you would click on the account, and it was, like the account was made that day, and they're like, yo, like all these like big brands, these companies are also just buying bots to like
absolutely there,
and that's what fuels the algorithm. That's what puts that video in your thing where it's like, oh, like this is lit, but it's like it's just bots. Like people pay money for this to get into your algorithm. Absolutely. So I don't know, and it just it's all cyclical. It just drives the things that we talk about. Like we're talking about it because of the bots.
Yep.
Ish. Well, the incels are real though.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about
the bots. Yeah. And speaking of that, actually,
incels are definitely.
Them niggas is fucking real. Adolescence on Netflix talks about that crazy film. I was gonna say y'all should watch the documentary "Fake Famous" if you haven't, on HBO Max. That goes into like, they pretty much like, all right, we're gonna make you an influencer, and they show how quickly you can fabricate it, from the photo shoots to the numbers to like, we're just gonna make you famous. Like fame is just, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, it's doable.
It's crazy.
You just need the face.
Yeah, over 1 million. That's the next reminder. Over 1 million people with 1 million followers. So what is fame anymore? Yeah.
Speaking of this is actually a perfect segue.
Let's go.
So, 5-a-side segment, tweets of the week in soccer.
Let's go.
Lester George tweets this. I'm telling you, within the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of people will convert to watching non-league/lower league soccer. The pure arrogance and greed of Premier League clubs is becoming more and more obvious, turning loyal fans away for day trippers and tourists. The whole experience of going to football has lost its charm. Ticket prices, food, etc. are way cheaper in lower leagues. You can take the whole family without breaking the bank. Also, in non-league, fans can genuinely get involved in running or supporting the club in ways that just aren't possible at top-tier clubs. Yeah. Finally, in non-league, there are no mega sponsors plastered everywhere, fewer corporate boxes, and no choreographed halftime shows. Just football, the game we all love, but at the top levels, it has lost all authenticity. This tweet is supported by the fact that this season in Germany, the Bundesliga, the second division, is neck and neck in terms of attendance, viewership, and tickets bought with the first division in terms of just domestically in Germany. In England, similar things are beginning to happen.
Yeah. It's so expensive.
Do you guys agree with the tweet?
So he's saying non-league, like fifth tier?
Lower level. Second division, third division.
I think the lower level will gain popularity if the Prem, specifically the Prem, because there's where I'm hearing the prices are just insane. I think it will continue to grow if they can't fix the ticket price. But I think the Prem eventually, even if they're reactive, will be smart enough to realize we got to do something. So I don't think they'll let it get out of hand to the point of like, wait, our product is failing. But it's a serious issue. And I see a lot of people, specifically in England, really talking about those ticket prices. Even, I think it was actually AJ Tracy doing like a talk show talking about British culture and the importance of just going to grab a pint and what it means for, despite everything that's going on, we can go in, grab a beer, converse. You see the diversity in that room. That's really British way of tapping in, way in other countries might be coffee culture or grabbing a wine, etc. So for them to be losing that, and now football is at risk, despite the Prem being by far the richest league and it's not even close, that's a serious issue they got to fix, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just goes hand in hand with everything we're talking about with algorithms and attention span. Like I actually don't think that the next generation of human beings will be able to sit through a 90-minute game.
My brother cannot.
And really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like really put your phone away and let's just sit here and watch this. And it's it's already harder to do that. So
Adults don't even do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like talking about a 7v7 game where it's like fast paced, high scoring, that's just dopamine.
Yeah. It's
Like,
just dopamine hacking.
hits versus like
Yep.
the delayed gratification of a 90-minute winner,
Yep.
but the whole game was 0-0.
Yep.
We don't like the concept of delayed gratification is just fucked.
We got to work on that though.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I think life's always a balance of like, there's good, amazing things in the now and in the future, but there's also things in the past you don't want to lose as well. So, you know what I mean? I think it's important.
Totally.
And this also reminds me of, at the same time as there's these issues in the Prem, Baller League just popped up, which is like super plastered full of celebrities. I think that's also 7v7. I don't know if y'all saw the rules video.
Yeah, it was insane.
Bro, I don't know how it works, but all I know is it's nuts because you got Dave and Sharky going at each other. Ian Wright's about to get on his whiteboard. I'm like, what's going on?
So I watched a little bit, bro.
I heard it's kind of crazy.
Kind of fun, bro.
Yeah, like,
I saw PK scored like the first
yeah,
ever
PK
goal.
wilding,
fun.
like,
He
It's
was
fun.
twerking on the pitch.
It's fun.
yeah,
It's worth watching.
yeah,
It's not soccer, but it's worth watching.
yeah. I was gonna say it's
like
absolutely ridiculous.
It's
right?
like a pizza in the U.S. It's not pizza.
Yeah.
It's good. It's worth eating.
Okay, fair, great comparison. Is it like Kings League at all? Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
same
Kings
vibes.
League has many crazy rules though.
Kings League is a little more serious.
Yeah, less celebrities, more just like smaller aside.
It's like former pros in Kings League.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I have a kid someday, I'm definitely forcing them to sit down and watch a 90
Watch
minute.
90
Have
Like
to.
that's their training
You
Right.
need to know how to
to
sit.
get their like
Yeah.
patience. And
Yeah.
That's why I still go to the movies because I'm like, yo, I
Yeah,
need,
it's
like,
important, bro.
I need to train my brain to like
Yeah.
digest something, enjoy something. No
Yeah.
phone, no talking. Like,
Yeah,
and it's still like an entertainment sort of mindless thing where I'm not like consciously, but I like that's
It's
the
good,
point.
bro.
It's like just sit and engage with something.
I'm
for
actually.
2 hours.
That's what I do at home. If I put on like a full film or like
Yeah.
a good episode, hour long Black Mirror, my
Yeah,
phone is
just
over
put
there.
everything away.
I'm not texting nothing. Whatever can wait, especially at night. I think that's important to be able to just.
Some niggas will hear this conversation and be like, y'all are unk.
It's not really an age thing though, too, because at
Nah,
the same
but I'm-
time, younger people are more aware of anxiety, mental health, and all that.
That's true.
And like,
Some
yeah,
of-
and
some
bro,
of
the older millennials be on their phone at dinner too, so it's not even an age thing anymore. It's just
Yeah, our
everybody.
parents are cooks for
Yeah,
sure.
man. It's
One more
important shit.
tweet.
Let's go.
Five-a-side tweets of the week. Football doesn't get enough credit for how much it educates us on general knowledge.
Oh,
Yes.
facts.
The first place I heard about the word audacious
Yep.
was from Martin Tyler shouting it in FIFA. My geography skills are decent now thanks to football teams
Literally.
and players that come from all over the world.
Facts.
So my question of the week is, what is the strangest or most random fact that you guys have learned because of
Wesh.
soccer /
Strangest
football?
and most random is
Like
tough.
what's the
I mean, maybe like, do people know about San Marino? The average American doesn't know about San Marino, but I know that they lost like 250 games in a row, and that they're a small little country next to Italy, and Seb can play on the national team apparently.
I can.
So like,
Yeah, it's definitely.
I don't know. There's just so many, bro. Even like the country Togo, being 9 years old in 2006,
Yeah.
seeing Togo in the World Cup.
Look at the geography on this guy.
No, some real shit. How would a 9-year-old in upstate New York know about Togo? Like
Yeah.
the fuck, like
Yeah.
So it's things like that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just it's not like quantifiable for me because it's just
Yeah.
everyday conversations.
So
Like,
much, bro.
Literally yesterday, my friend Tara, she's in the UK, and she's like, "Oh, I'm staying with my sibling, whatever." She's like, "I'm in Reading," and I'm like, "The only reason
team.
I know about
Yup,
Reading
yup,
is because
facts.
they're in the race
Yeah,
with Wrexham, or they're in the
Yeah.
same similar battle
Yeah,
as
it's
Wrexham."
crazy.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know about their soccer culture. I know
Yeah.
about their team." Or you just like hear about certain players who listen to certain artists,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got put on some random Italian artists by following like Moise Keane
Yep.
and like
Yeah.
seeing them go to dinner with so and so. Like, oh, who's
Literally.
that? So yeah, it's just like your world. That's my favorite quote, and that's what whenever people ask me like
Oh,
why
yeah.
I like soccer,
It's
I
the world.
always talk about that because I'm like it just exposes you to so much shit that like you become unconscious of how much little things you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing it does really well too is actually highlight the diversity and racial demographics of different countries.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
as a black Spanish person, now that we have Lamine, Alejandro Balde, Ansu Fati, Nico Williams, you can now look at the Spanish national team as a way of saying, oh, the diversity in Spain has changed.
Yeah.
They now have people from these countries who are part of the Spanish country. Same way if you look at the French national team, like it really educates you on racial demographics. Even Switzerland, we just had Fabrice on the show. I got my friend Ari from Switzerland. I didn't know how diverse of a country it was until seeing the national team.
Yeah.
You even have like a Latino player, and then you have black players from different backgrounds. Then you have different types of Europeans. All of that is related to soccer, and so it really shows you the world. Even the artist I talked about yesterday that I posted, Skeet, he's from Nottingham. I know about Nottingham Forest, instead of that just being a random English city.
Facts.
So yeah, it's just crazy how connected it is to the
I
world.
feel like the most random, and I don't know like all the facts, but the most random thing would probably be like knowing about the Balkans, like knowing about kind of Croatia,
like
and
the
fact
beef?
that they had like a civil war,
Yeah.
and there's players who are like fleeing the country, and like you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like
that
knowing
world.
about
Yeah.
conflicts and political,
Like how
strife.
Modric grew up. They have the picture of him as a little kid and shit.
It's
Yeah.
like why else would I know anything
Yeah.
about Croatia
Mhm.
and like their
Yeah.
their political
Yeah.
like, wartime
It
history.
teaches you everything.
Speaking of that, I think for me, it's the two weirdest things that I know are I know a lot about like Korean military
Yes.
necessities.
Because the sun.
Fair.
due to
Bro, we're
Kim
like
and
Son is
Son.
gonna miss like
That's
like,
a good one.
I know so much about like the draft and what is necessary to
Bro,
like
it's nuts.
be like a Korean citizen.
yeah.
he had to win the Asian Cup
Like,
to avoid it.
literally,
You know how
literally.
crazy that is?
Like I know the requirements that a Korean citizen must have to not fight war because of soccer.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
thing I know is like I also know how corrupt Bulgaria is as a country because of
yeah.
soccer.
Okay.
Because they used to be really really good at soccer, and then I watched a video about them and
Mm.
about like how Bulgarian soccer basically like the Bulgarian Federation has like created like ghost teams in Bulgaria because every team gets a vote, and the president created like 150 teams to give
I
himself
think
the
I saw
exact amount of
something about
votes.
this.
Like so, these are the random nonsensical things that I know. Like
And
Egypt too.
yeah,
Did y'all see the
Did
Egypt
you see
thing?
that video?
That was absolutely
From Copa
crazy.
90? Yeah.
I never thought that doesn't even make sense to me. I would
That
have
surprised
never
me a
known
lot.
that. I thought they would have had 20 super passionate teams.
yeah.
Crazy,
And
dog.
similarly, everything happening with the Club World Cup and how Lyon and Pachuca
Yeah,
they share similar
Yeah,
ownership,
owners.
and so I think it's Lyon that's supposed to be getting kicked out of
Yep.
the Club World
Yep.
Cup. But it teaches you again about like government and big
Law.
corporations
Capitalism.
and how they're like
and corruption.
buying up teams
Yep.
and da 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 da. So
Crazy.
yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Not to even get into the whole thing with like a World Cup being in Qatar and then Saudi Arabia and what that means to people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Then it was in Russia in 2018. Super connected to global politics.
Rating World Cup posters with 5-a-side, starting in 1930.
So Uruguay 1930. This is probably a 4 out of 10.
Oof.
It's a little disjointed. It's very hard to read, but I like the idea behind it.
All right. I have Italy 1934. I'm going to also give it a 4 out of 10 because I don't like how realistic the person looks. I think it should be a little more kind of artsy, going with some different types of graphics rather than just a realistic looking guy.
Let's go faster, guys.
My fault.
True.
All right. France 1938. I'm super against this. 1 out of 10. I don't even the random fake sad
Ball
rainbow.
almost on Africa, too. I
I'm
don't like that.
yeah. I'm sure that this has to do with the world righting itself or something, but
Yeah.
I'm against this.
Arriba. Okay. Brazil 1950. This is awful. Like, what is the sock with the map? 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Crazy. Switzerland 1954. It's actually decent.
Yeah, it's
I like
decent.
the cubist looking guy. I'm
It's
gonna
like
give it a
Picasso.
7 out of 10. Yeah, shout out Picasso for sure. Oh,
Sw-
it's trash. Shout
Sweden.
out Pele though.
Sweden 1958. This looks dangerous. It looks like he's about to die. The ball seems to be
He's kicking
hurt.
it
He's
away.
kicking it up.
away.
The shadow
Yeah, it's deceptive.
makes
It
me
is
feel like
deceptive.
he's going to be killed by the soccer ball.
My days.
Bro, but look
Chile.
at the flags
So
though.
on that note,
Christ.
1 out of 10 for violence.
Is this like a space propaganda Chile?
This is awful. Chile 1962. 0 out of 10. No originality. It looks like the ball is about to crash into Earth and cause an apocalypse.
Literally, the spacing is trash. 1966, 0 out of 10 because it's England and they won. Yeah. There's another one from England, also 0 out of 10.
Mexico 1970. I'm honestly disappointed. This is so basic. We haven't given anything a good rating, but
The
nothing has
font.
really been good.
The font.
The font is iconic, but the actual poster
Yeah, it's
is
just a ball.
is very very missing. This is a 1 out of 10.
This is how I started in Canva.
West Germany 1974.
Hold on, say it again. So we have
West Germany 1974. Now we're starting to get artsy. This is a strong 8 out of 10. This is actually very, very beautiful.
Yeah. That's cool. Argentina 1978. More artsy as well. I'll give it a 7 out of 10
Yeah,
just because I don't think you should capture such a specific moment. I believe that's a specific moment. But I like the colors and I like the design.
Whoosh.
for me,
Nice.
10 out of
Spain.
10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Sorry.
Spain 1982. We've taken many steps forward. 10 out of 10 for sure. This is beautiful. This is one of the best ones so far.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
Definitely.
It's from the artist Miro, very famous from my country.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Mexico, 1986.
The fuck is
This looks like an actual image. Honestly, I'm not mad at the homage to like the Aztecs. I'm assuming. Is that crazy?
Could be Inca. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Indigenous. Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah,
I'll
you're
give
good.
it a 6 out of 10.
Italy 19. I'm fucking with you. Italy 1990 is absolutely awful. They put clip art in the Coliseum. Seb, get
That's
your people.
bad. That's bad.
They put 0 out of 10. They
That's
put
bad.
the clip art in the Coliseum's crazy.
That's actually very bad.
Yeah.
I liked it. Hold on. Let me also just say part 2 because this has gone on for a while.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Let me
Just
just
put
say
part 2 in the caption.
Yeah.
Rating World Cup posters part 2. Anyways, USA. It'll help us.
Sure.
USA 1994. This is a 10 out of 10 as well for me. I really like this. I think it's very colorful, very beautiful, good vibes. I like it a lot.
I didn't know you liked America, but okay.
Whoa. France. I'm not gonna try to say that number in French. 1998. It's all right. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. They tried to be original, but it doesn't really come together nicely.
Yeah. Woo! Korea, Japan,
It's a good
2002. 10 out of 10. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Beautiful use of color. It's subtle. It's artistic. I love the paintbrush strokes. This is beautiful. This is really slick. I'd put this in my house.
Germany 2006. Germany 2006. Bad to be honest.
Yeah.
2 out of 10. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 to be honest.
I like
don't
the
this.
laughing faces though. Those faces are iconic.
Yeah, but that's not the logo. The
It's not,
poster
it's
itself looks like they stole a Disney movie intro.
Yeah,
True.
Definitely. DreamWorks.
Definitely DreamWorks.
South Africa 2010. I kind of like the person being the shape of the continent, but it's kind of basic.
I didn't even peep that. That's
Yeah.
fire.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
I like it. Brazil, 2014. I like the colors. I like the designs in it. I like how you have like a print that turns into
it's
something
nice.
more, and it kind of represents a little bit of their nature as well. It's cool. It's a good 7.5 out of 10. I like it.
Yeah.
Russia 2018.
Wait, is this real?
There's no way.
Russia 2018. Oh brother.
Oh,
This is real sports washing. Cause what the hell is this, bro?
This is the most Soviet shit I've ever
Yo, what?
seen.
Nah, there's no way.
Damn.
Putin
Damn.
grabbing the world in it?
Damn.
That's nuts.
What? Damn.
What's the rating?
What's really funny to me is how they've centered the. I think it's funny when like globes are centered around the country. If you zoom in, the globe is centered around Russia, which is like not what we normally see.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, to be honest,
Where's 2022?
I gotta respect
really
them
can't find
boys standing on business. They made their thing, so
Wow,
I'll give them a 4.
okay.
At least it's not a 1.
Who stood on business?
Russia. This is Russia in 2018. They weren't bad yet.
They most definitely were.
Qatar 2022. I think it's this.
Yeah, it is.
Do we have 2026?
I'm honestly not mad at it. It's kind of pretty. It doesn't really feel like football focused, but it's pretty. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
So the problem with 2026 is I don't know if we have an overall World Cup poster. We have the individual cities. There's some really cool individual cities.
That's fine.
But the overall logo, I didn't like the 2-6 over the trophy thing. I like the cities, but the overall I didn't love.
Awesome.
All right, y'all.
Get outta
Episode 83 of the 5 Star Podcast. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Adios. Bye, guys. Bye.
This guy. Keep it in. It's in the episode. We're keeping it.